Hi, I'm EllaAradia and welcome to your August 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. So this reading is for my Gemini air signs, where we'll be exploring the overall energies and themes for the month ahead, as well as taking a deeper dive into how these might be playing out for you in your life. This is a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little bit differently for all of you, although sometimes these messages can get very specific. But what I do find is there's always a shared theme that runs through the collective of all of you Gemini signs, so take what feels aligned to you and just leave the rest. And before we jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoy this reading and you haven't already done that, please do, as it really helps the channel out. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and then of course you can get notified when the next videos are up. So Gemini, let's jump in. What I'm being shown here is, for many of you, having to walk away from something that was toxic in some way, and this sense of having to walk away from something, even if there is a little piece of your heart that's still there. I feel like there are some lessons going on right now around boundaries and self-love for many of you. And with your overall energies, we have the Ten of Swords, which is exactly what I'm talking about here, Gemini. This is the ending of perhaps a difficult chapter of your life. And sometimes it can be an ending that is a little bit challenging. It can involve sometimes sadness, betrayal, maybe for some of you a heartbreak. But it's something which at the same time really feels like it's run its course. You know, there's something about what you've walked away from that feels toxic to me. And there comes a point sometimes, doesn't there, when, you know, we have to start choosing ourselves, you know, through that energy of self-love. That self-preservation kicks in at some point. And what lies in your recent past, we have the High Priestess. Your current situation, the Queen of Cups. Your feelings towards your situation, the Two of Swords. And this is the thing that I'm feeling here. Now, this could relate to a connection that you may have been in. Maybe for some of you, you are still somehow connected to this person. And for others, this might relate to, you know, walking away from perhaps a job, a project that maybe you've been working on. And with the Queen of Cups here as your current energies, this is all about looking after your emotional world. Because whatever it is that you're moving on from, there is something about it which just feels unfulfilling, toxic in some way, in the sense that, you know, your needs were not being met. There's something or somebody that you've been putting your energies into that, you know, hasn't been loving you back in the same way, or there is, you know, you're putting your energies into something where it's not being reciprocated. So you're putting in more than what you're getting back here. And with this Queen of Cups, it really is all about, you know, caring for your inner emotional world and nurturing yourself. With the High Priestess here, you know, this is all about tapping into your intuition, your inner wisdom, and really using that to perhaps guide you forward. So I feel for many of you, whatever you've walked away from, and this is the challenge here with the Two of Swords, because like I said at the beginning, it's something or somebody that it still feels like there's a piece of your heart there. And this is the challenge, this is the struggle around, really completely letting that go. And this is the kind of choice that's really going to require you to tap into those energies of your heart. And this is why we have the High Priestess here. This is about tapping into that inner wisdom and really listening to your heart, what your heart truly wants, what the truth is. And using that to make whatever choice or decision that you're facing right now. And this can be a difficult choice, one that maybe some of you might be avoiding, not really wanting to face, but a very significant choice. And again, with the water in the background, it's a call to really use your intuition at this time. Even if the situation feels a little bit uncertain, because the energies that I see for many of you, as you're walking forwards, you are walking forwards into the unknown and uncertainty. And it's really all about, I feel, trusting that higher intelligence that we all have inside of us to, guide us in the right direction, and really trusting in your path. What lies in your area of a challenge is the King of Swords. And for those of you in a relationship, or this is related to someone that you've been connected with, I feel like this is the person that you're dealing with here. Now, of course, the gender can be different, can be male or female, but the King of Swords is someone who is a very deep thinker. They almost, in a sense, think their feelings. This is someone who is a much more logical thinker. They use their intellect to make their decisions and their choices. They tend to kind of look at the facts and the truth. But kind of a difficult person to really get a read of their emotions. And for those of you that have been connected to someone, I feel like this is someone who, that's where the challenge has been here. Because, this is all, mental energy, thoughts, looking at the facts, the truth, the logic, rather than feeling the feelings and connecting emotionally. And what lies in the hidden influence here is judgment. And I feel like this is a really powerful card for many of you at the moment, because this is the universe bringing in, let's say, a pause for you to really stop and reflect and to learn from the past and really work out, what is it truly time to let go of, and what do I take moving forwards. And that's what this Two of Swords is about. And judgment is all about learning from the past, so that, we don't, let's say, there are no mistakes, so that we don't make the same mistakes again, so we don't go down the same road again and again. And with your advice from the universe, we have the Ace of Cups. And this represents a new beginning here, Gemini. So this can be, for some of you, a new creative beginning of some sort, or it can represent a new emotional beginning. perhaps even, a new love coming in for you, but some kind of new beginning. But the challenge here really is letting go of perhaps what's really over, something that wasn't really giving you what you needed. What you were putting in was not what you were getting back. Your emotional needs were not being met. And this is why we have the Queen of Cups here, because it's very much a call, like I said at the beginning, lessons in self-love. And at some point, choosing yourself, from the energy of self-love and value and worth. Even if right now there's still a little bit of your heart in whatever you are walking away from. Now for some of you this might relate to career, to a job or project that you've been working on. And again, it's, like I said at the beginning, there's always a shared theme that just runs through the collective, of all of you Geminis. And it may show up in different areas of your life to different degrees or intensities, but it's the same theme. It's, walking away, moving on from something that is, unfulfilling, maybe even toxic. There could be betrayal involved, that could be, work or love. And getting to a point where it's about looking after yourself and choosing yourself and moving forward in these energies of self-love. And this is why I say with the Two of Swords, it's about dropping into your heart space and connecting to what your heart truly wants, but it's also about listening and being brutally honest with what the answer is. And the most important thing to bring in here is trusting that even if the path ahead feels a little bit uncertain, your soul is guiding you. We all have that inner compass. In the outcome position, we have the Five of Wands, and this is a card of conflict. Now, sometimes this can be conflict around you or an internal conflict. And alongside that, we have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups, like the cards, an offer coming in. And I feel like this is a message to, not get caught up in, any drama that might be going on. Take some time out to, really get your energy back to yourself, to get in touch with your true feelings. It's always important sometimes if there is, a difficult situation that's just wrapping up, to take some time out, take a step back. But with this Four of Cups here, what this is saying is, don't stay there too long, because you could miss perhaps, the blessings or opportunities that, the universe is trying to bring into you. And for some of you, that may be a whole brand new offer of love for you, or a new creative beginning of some kind. So Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, moving forwards, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, and I wish you a great month ahead.